Chelsea Manning recently attempted suicide. Now, she survived, but needless to say, she was obviously in a super duper duper dark place. She may be there now. I don't know. We don't know. We don't have all the evidence. We don't have all the data. But, I mean, think about that, man. Chelsea Manning, now, we've spoken about this before. I would argue she shouldn't be locked up in the first place. What she did is she released information to WikiLeaks, information that she knew, as a matter of fact, the American people have a right to know. In the documents that she gave to WikiLeaks, we learned that the United States, we killed civilians in Iraq. We had video of it. We attacked civilians and a journalist, and then when people showed up, the first responders to help, we killed them too. And the commentary when it happened was gross. The commentary, was callous, was like they're not human. And so she's like, okay, people need to know what's happening in our name with our tax dollars. So she released it. Now remember, with Hillary Clinton's emails, they said, well, intent is everything. She didn't intend to be a Russian spy or to give our information to foreign enemies. So, hey, what are we going to do? There's leaking classified information, top secret information. But she has good intent. The intent is all that matters. End of conversation. With Chelsea Manning, they go, intent? We don't care about intent. We don't care that your whole point was to do good by the American people and to let them know what's happening in their name with their tax dollars. Fuck intent, we're going to lock you up and throw away the key. So, in prison, in a deep, dark place mentally, facing depression, all this stuff, attempts suicide. Well, yesterday we learned from the ACLU the following, quote, imprisoned whistleblower Chelsea Manning received a document from Army officials informing her that she's being investigated for serious new charges related to her July 5th attempt to take her own life. If convicted of these administrative offenses, she could be placed in indefinite solitary confinement for the remainder of her decades-long sentence. They continue. These new charges, which Army employees verbally informed Chelsea were related to the July 5th incident, include, and I quote, resisting the force cell move team, prohibited property, and conduct which threatens. If convicted, Chelsea could face punishment including indefinite solitary confinement, reclassification into maximum security, and an additional 9 years in medium custody. They may negate any chances of parole. If the government decides to punish Chelsea Manning further, in fact, if the government decides to even keep it as is with Chelsea Manning, and not help her more with further medical treatment, new medications, new psychology or psychiatrist sessions, they are criminal. They're not looking to keep it as is, which is bad enough. They're looking to make it worse. They want to be punitive. They want to crack down more. They want to take somebody who is obviously, clearly super depressed and put them in solitary confinement, which will increase the chances of depression. That will make her life a living hell. Solitary confinement, indefinite solitary confinement, for somebody who doesn't already have issues with depression and psychological issues, that alone can make somebody crack. If you add depression on top of it before you even go in there, what you're doing is torture. Bottom line, that is torture. And this is how you treat somebody who decided to share with the American people information that we have a right to know. You guys know the trick now that the government does, and this is actually one of the oldest tricks in the book. Any and all information that makes us look bad, top secret, classified, make sure nobody sees it, everybody shut the fuck up. So if you ever do anything embarrassing, if you ever do anything that's immoral, if you ever do anything that's a war crime, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to leak it to the New York Times? Hey, by the way, we killed civilians. They try to cover that up. They'll only talk about the good stuff. They'll only do leaks from the government to the press of good stuff. So we basically have state-run media to a certain extent. But here we have somebody who did right by the American people, who did a leak to make us stop doing things that were immoral and wrong and get us more politically involved. Lock her up, basically throw away the key. She attempts suicide. Let's be more punitive. Let's be more punitive. Let's put her in indefinite solitary confinement. That's a great thing. In this instance, it's not even close. The real criminals are the government. Free Chelsea Manning right now. At the very least, don't be more punitive and give her more treatment, give her more help. She's obviously struggling, yet your idea is, fuck her, let's treat her more like shit. Well, then my conclusion is, you are the pieces of shit. You should all be ashamed of yourself.